Good evening, fellow ghouls and specters alike. It's your ghost host with the most, Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5, here to engage in some haunted holiday hijinks by trudging through the catacombs and dusting off the cobwebs to recount our spooky selection of Halloween classics.
So light the jack-o'-lantern, suit up, and grab the candy dish as we revive and recount tonight's spooky selection. Hey Arnold, the Headless Cabbie! I have a very creepy laugh.
Very creepy.
Oh, if there's ever an appropriate time for a maniacal laugh, it's this episode, Dragon.
That it is. That it is.
Okay, so folks, we have been going through all kinds of Hey Arnold. This, along with Courage, are our two go-tos for haunted holiday hijinks, and Courage is just a well that's never going to end unless somehow we go through every single episode of Courage, because literally I feel like every single episode of Courage could make for its own haunted holiday hijinks episode, so that'll never go away. But Hey Arnold Dragon, we're close to the end on Hey Arnold here.
That we are.
So we've got this, and then we've got Sid the Vampire Hunter, which we had a discussion about pre-show. I still don't think that Sid the Vampire Hunter can fit in a proper supernatural episodes of Hey Arnold category.
Yeah, and I do think you're out of your mind because, again, how are you debating me on vampire when we're talking haunted holiday hijinks, which I'll remind you, Halloween. Okay?
All right, fair enough.
Anyway.
But we're talking about a much more landmark episode than Sid the Vampire Slayer. We're talking Headless Cabbie, and
that we are.
Dragon, I don't think this quite reaches the pantheon of the haunted train, but I do think this might be the second best creepy Hey Arnold episode. I really do. I think this hit a high point for me. Oh, robots! Oh, Dragon. We should consider doing that one at some point.
Are you sure we didn't do that already?
Nostalgic nerve right there.
Are we sure we didn't do that one?
I would remember if we did that one.
You always talk about it, Dragon. And I think we've discussed. I don't know. I could have sworn we recorded it, but I guess we didn't. That's fine. No, yeah. I mean, maybe we'll see. I mean, we'll see the lineup next one, probably.
Okay, so yeah, I really love this episode. I think
I'm surprised you like this one as much as you did. I got to be honest.
I think this episode holds up tremendously well. I really do. I think that it's a perfect blend of I think it's a little bit more light-hearted and light-toned than the Haunted Train episode. It's not quite as atmospheric as the Haunted Train episode. But what I will give this over the Haunted Train is I feel like some of the implications in this are even darker than Haunted Train.
Well, it's definitely got one of the Hall of Famer creepy urban legends.
Definitely. And by the way, I would still say Pigeon Man is the weird one, Dragon. Pigeon Man is the outlier where it's first 5 minutes of Pigeon Man absolutely feels like we're going down the creepy route. But so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just think this one holds up. I think it's got a lot of memorable laughs, the whole oh, I have a very creepy laugh, and then of course the whole I was just trying to sell them a quality watch. Yeah. I think those two lines alone are just iconic Hey Arnold quotes right there.
But they are.
So that, along with just the general creepiness, I think that the story is definitely one of the most intense ghost stories we've ever had on the show. And I think the ending really sings for me, Dragon. The ending really sings for me.
Now, to be fair, a lot of these creepy Hey Arnold episodes do have really memorable endings.
They all end pretty similarly, but they all kind of pull the whole oh, but is it actually real kind of
differently.
Yeah. And I think this is probably the best one. Because it could just what I like about this ending. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. Don't talk about everything at the start. We got to get there.
I'm excited. I
know you are.
All right.
Okay, so
getting to a couple comments here.
Sure.
I can easily picture Harold being terrified of the Hatbox Ghost. Come to think of it, the Hatbox Ghost could totally fit inside the Hey Arnold urban legends. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, and then wait till you guys get to the Owl House. Every episode of the Owl House feels like a Halloween episode. Claude, Owl House is coming on Disney Plus soon, right? Like I believe like the start of November or something. So yeah, I will definitely be getting to the Owl House once it's on Disney Plus. For sure, for sure. All right, Dragon, any background you want to get in on this, or should we just jump right into
I
it?
mean, the only thing to note is like this is, I believe, season 4. Hey Arnold, just to kind of show you, like most of the shows, especially the Nicktoons, there's kind of like a sweet spot. The sweet spot traditionally is the first 3 seasons. There's your sweet spot. There's in the first 3 seasons usually gold. And then you get to the area where I'm not saying there was a major like decline or like heresy amongst Hey Arnold as it went forward, but I'm saying by the time it gets to after the April Fool's Day episode, then there's kind of like, okay, we're not quite that. We're kind of post the movie, I believe. I'm not 100%. I remember we're kind of like we're near when the first Hey Arnold movie came out, and that's and of course, like we get the journal to end things off, and so obviously we ended on some good stuff. But that's what I'm saying. We kind of lost separate instead of everyone being a slam dunk or a home run. Then you have like your few your Arnold betrays Iggy's along the way. Don't get me wrong. But that's what I'm saying. So I mean, I like this one. Kind of comes.
Honestly, Dragon, we could cover that as a haunted holiday hijinks, and I'm not even joking.
Well, that's more like the fans are haunted than more.
No, I'm saying that is just like the straight up idea of that episode is genuinely disturbing on like a human psychological level.
But here's the thing: we're gonna face an interesting crossroads once we reach the end of the kind of the spooky Halloween or kind of creepy Arnold episodes, because you have a couple outliers, because you have like the voodoo episode with Sid, where you kind of voodoo's principal warts with a bar of soap. Like you have that, you got the Friday the 13th episode, which again don't really fit our needs, but again they're kind of outliers. So I would never say never, but I wouldn't call them like they're not like we're gonna go like next after we hit like a momentous occasion. Like we might have to stew on it. I don't know. Point being, they're in season 4 at this point. Before we kind of like, I think after
season
this,
4, a couple of my other favorite episodes from season 4 are Helga Blabs It All, which I think is maybe the funniest episode in the show's history.
I think that was before season 4. I
was
could
it
be
before
wrong.
Season 4?
I'm just saying, looking at the animation style, because if you kind of look at this episode here, when we clean it up and we do kind of like, it's like we're doing them. I think we're doing them on the computer at this point. Well, wait, no.
You know what? I'm not even gonna cite any more episodes because at this point I don't know what's what.
As I'm saying, maybe okay. So forget what I said about the, it's. I think that was more early 2000s when we're starting to do that, so that wouldn't be this. But the point being, I don't want to get George down semantics here. The point being, I that's a great one too, the Helga Blabs, sure. But it came before this one. I think we're pretty sure on that one. Whatever it comes, it's probably before.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway. So I mean, this is before Ghost Bride, which we covered last time. So that's kind of a little thing to note there too, with kind of the kind of how these things going to go going forward with what we've covered so far. So
I think this is a lot more memorable than Ghost Bride.
As do I, and that's a thing. I prefer this one a great deal more than Ghost Bride myself.
And I think people have a lot of love for Four-Eyed Jack, but I think this is also better than Four-Eyed Jack, in my humble opinion.
I really like Four-Eyed Jack, though. I don't know. I have to really watch it. But anyway. Okay, so let's dive. And of course, Claudia here saying the journal is a great episode. This is indisputable fact, Claudia. You're right about that. Okay. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Let's start recapping away. Have our own little mini sleepover. So, speaking of sleepovers, I have a sleepover at Arnold's house, and the boys are telling scary stories to each other. And Gerald's in the midst of one himself.
I'm sorry, just to address some of Claude's comments here with potential things to cover. Claude, we definitely covered Summerween for Gravity Falls. That's obviously the big go-to Halloween episode for Gravity Falls. I honestly don't know what else we could cover. I mean, Little Gift Shop of Horrors is, I guess, a good choice, except that's I believe that's an anthology, right? Correct me if I'm wrong there. And then also, Claude, just to throw it out there, I have been literally begging this guy to do Over the Garden Wall for years, and he just won't. He just won't. It's just a non-starter every time I bring it up, even though I legitimately think it's the best thing Cartoon Network has ever produced. All right. Anyways, go ahead, Dragon.
Anyway, getting back to the subject at hand. So, Sleep over at Arnold's house. Gerald's telling. They're all telling scary stories, and then Gerald's up, and he's in the midst of wrapping up his story about the essentially a gorilla guard at a zoo, like a zoo, like it looks like a guard. Looks like a gorilla, but it's actually a gorilla.
It's Monkey Man.
There's a kind of a monkey theme when you really think about it in these stories, because we start with the gorilla guard, then we go to Stinky. Stinky has the funniest of these stories. Monkey cat.
Oh god, so it's basically just like a monkey and a cat fighting, they become entangled with each other, and then Monkey Cat!
Yeah, the Dr. Mischief, the scientist in question, he gets the kind of the Jeff Goldblum idea here to cut, basically, cut the head off of a monkey and sew it onto a cat's body.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically kind of the most horrific version of Cat Dog ever, with a monkey cat. And they're asking, wait, what's so scary about that? They said, of course, like he's a banana-eating, milk-drinking horror monster. Of course, Harold's had it. Like, that's not scary. That's stupid.
I came to this sleepover to be scared, and I'm not. I'm just hungry.
There's of course, famously, Harold Berman. He is known for one iconic line. But I was hungry. Which we love him for. And of course, Harold, always one of the great standouts of Hey Arnold, like the three-dimensional bully character, which is wonderful.
And in this episode, there's a couple times where we get to like bring up the hunger of it all.
That's it. We do a lot of callbacks to this. In that regard, this episode I feel has more of an entertainment factor than anything else. I think the other episodes might have more of a scare factor as well as like a fun. This has a lot of comedy in it, which is much appreciated.
Sure.
All mostly coming from Harold, but also this opening with the whole monkey cat of it all. So. All right, let's see. So Sid's bringing up, we ate all the pizza, and Sid suggests, getting some sleep, and then Gerald points out, it's only 6:30. Don't you hate when daylight savings gets you to that point where it's night out?
Oh, Dragon, I work until 5 o'clock, so yes, I absolutely hear you.
Anyway, just hate the whole savings and the spring forward. It's all BS.
Yes.
Okay, so Arnold has a scare your pants off story. Now, if we learn anything from Arthur, scare your pants off means business.
Oh, yeah. This is the tale of the Headless Cabbie.
So he dims the lights using I love we kind of bring back. Arnold has a really, again, like in the 90s equivalent of the really fancy high-end room where he can control the lights and everything with like a little remote. So he dims the lights, he breaks out the tale of the Headless Cabbie, and they're all clam up. They're all listening very intently. So, Tiki, would you like to regale the kids?
Yeah, I can try.
Bring your rubber sheets, kids. It's going to get scary. Go on.
Okay, so one night, 100 years ago, this cabbie pulls up to a lone woman in the park, and she's looking for a dog.
A little Scotty dog.
A little Scotty dog, yes. The dog's been missing for weeks, but she still hopes to find him. So, on the ride through the park, the woman offers the cabbie a scarf because it's cold. The red scarf, thank you. And then she hears the Scotty dog, and she gets frantic. She begs the cabbie to go faster. Faster and faster. She gets maniacal. She starts laughing. Bleh, I'm not telling this right, Dragon.
Would you like me to take a stab at it?
Please do.
Okay, so long story short, 100 years ago.
The thing is, we kind of employ the show don't tell method here. We kind of I don't have a good script to draw from for the actual ghost story.
Essentially, so 100 years ago, it's a foggy autumn night. Cabbie gets hailed, lady looking for a little Scotty dog that's been gone for a few weeks. Offers her red scarf on the cold night to the cabbie. Gratefully, by the way, again, this is like roughly, I believe, like the 1800s, like kind of gaslight sort of stuff, right? Or the ways of the 1900s.
It would be 1900s, yeah.
Right, sorry about the 1900s. Always throw up because I always say the century thing always throws me off. All right. So, anyways, the woman hears her dog and initially just very frantic. Oh, please go that way. I have to find my little doggy. So again, it's like the repetition.
I love the build of this, Dragon. I love the build.
I know. That's what's so great about this urban legends. We have a tremendous build. Mm-hmm. Things get really tense. And we also cut back to the guys listening to the story, including Harold hugging little Wally. Wally being the little blue There's a whole episode with was it Timberlake or Timberlake? No, it's Timberlake, right? Timberlake.
It's definitely Timberlee, not Timberlake.
That's what I'm saying. Thank goodness. That would have been horrible egg on their face had it been the other way. But yes, Timberlake had a little like blue alligator when Harold was a suspect. He had he bit the eye off of his. We bring this thing back. So he's just throughout the episode, he's just cowering with this thing. It's priceless. Anyway, so he's saying, "Faster! We must save my little doggy." Little Scott, she sees it go through the tunnel, and of course, little Scotty doggy. For the kids who don't remember, this is again looks pretty much identical to the one from Lady and the Tramp.
Pretty much, yeah. Who they gender swap in the remake, by the way. Did I ever tell you that?
Oh man, why? Anyway,
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
They gotta change the simple things. Okay, anyway, so point being, you hear the wheels rattle on the cobblestone. Of course, the faster little doggy, the gas lights at the end of the tunnel, and then they say, "Watch out! It's a man with a gold hook for an arm."
Right? Can I just say, Dragon, the man with the golden hook for the arm might be one of the most ridiculous and unneeded details of any of these ghost stories.
Well, but that's the perfect thing, Tiki. The classic trope of the horror tale of like the creepy campfire story is always like the gimmick of it. It's a guy with a hook for the hair,
right,
with a hook. It's always a hook because that's your hook for the story. Anyway,
but it does lead to like one of the most quotable bits in all of Hey Arnold, I think.
That comes later, but yes. So anyway, so this is like the real guy with the hook for an arm. Like, oh, guys, why does he have a gold hook? Where do you afford that? So anyway, so man with a gold hook for an arm, they swerve onto a steep hill. And this is what dooms them right now. Because of this jump scare here, they swerve onto a steep hill, which means they're going faster. He's pulling on the reins of the horses, trying to get control, and then the lady transforms again. The repetition of my little dog, my little Scotty doggy, as she now becomes like demonic or witch-like, kind of Evil Deadish. Where she's like a deadite practically. Like she's like one step away from being a deadite here. Like she has like these large, bony witch fingers and the nails, and like she has long hair and her voice gets really, really coarse. Faster, my doggy, my little Scotty doggy. He's just getting really intense, like beating on his shoulder and everything. Of course, this is all leading to like a really bad ride here, folks. What happens is, they're in the park, especially in the 1900s. The park not well kept, not well maintained. So they're going for it, and you've got a big old red scarf, really good thread count. Gets caught on one of the low-hanging branches, and we see wonderfully and very creepily, because it's a kid's show, so we can only show so much, but still, the fact they got away with this much astonishes me. Scarf gets taut on one of the branches, and we just cut away. You hear the snap. They don't say what, but we know. Next snap.
He essentially gets Claytoned, as I like to call it.
He gets Clayton, but a step further. Not just Clayton, he gets Clayton and beheaded because he's.
You're right.
It's Clayton meets the Headless Horseman, guys, because the hat falls. That's kind of our Ichabod homage. The hat falls.
Right.
As the horse stops, the reins are being held by the Headless Cabbie. And then the creepy part is the pursuit continues as the woman and then the scarf's like you see the scarf hanging on the tree still, which again, a little setup for later.
Yeah,
hanging on the thing, and then and then of course Arnold kind of drives in a little eerie ... And on nights like tonight, the word is you could still hear the little Scotty doggy barking and the rattling wheels on the cobblestone, and then the laughter of the horrible ghost lady. And then the last thing you're going to see is a horse-drawn carriage driven by the Headless Cabbie. The flashlight does the silhouette against the wall. Like, oh my god!
All right, so everyone's pretty adequately freaked out, especially Harold.
Yeah, Gerald's impressed because I like this little moment between Gerald and Arnold. Gerald's like, you know what? I usually do the urban legends. I think this might be the first time Arnold's told a tale like this. Maybe.
The
thing is, I forget who told the tale. Probably Phil told in Four Eye Jack. So probably this might be Arnold's first time telling the urban legend. Anyway, so Gerald's right on. It's a righteously told urban legend.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Harold, he ain't doing so well.
Stinky suggests they go out for ice cream.
Easy squeezy lemon peasy.
Oh god, and Dragon, I will never think of those words the same way again after fucking Infinity Train. Honestly.
Right. Oh god, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
That I do. That I do.
Infinity Trade has scarred me, man. I don't know what to tell you. The fucking wheels, Dragon. I'm afraid of the wheels.
I really hope
Right.
they get to make the rest of. I hope they get to do the rest of the 8 seasons.
Hopefully.
All right. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so of course Harold's not doing well. They're suggesting getting some ice cream, and again, because initially I had a problem. It's like, why are they going in the dead of night? Then I realized, oh right, 6:30 just looks dark.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So yeah, so they're writing it off as a ghost story. Like, oh yeah, it was just a fun. It was a good story, right? Ha 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 ha. We're not scared, right? Anyway, so yeah, let's go for an ice cream run. So Harold doesn't want to leave. Are you crazy? I don't want to leave. We'll go together, Harold. We'll be fine. You promise? Yeah. So they're walking in the middle of the night, which usually is when bad things happen. So they have to cut through the park, and Harold's like, basically, Harold's channeling Lou Costello throughout all of this. You're like, oh, no. You can't make me go there. He can't make me go there. No, I'm sorry. No, he's just saying, like, he's going the full Costello here. The bar gotta come to the heart, but Harold's the fastest way to get to the ice cream. And Arnold's trying to say, like, well, Grandpa, look, my grandpa told me that story. He makes him up, and of course, unreliable narrator sometimes fills on the money.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'll go, but only because I'm really hungry. So, in other words, Dragon, why do they go for the park?
Because I was hungry.
Yeah. All right.
We got a few comments here. Perhaps we should read them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Headless Cat says.
All right. This is a tale about how my head got turned upside down.
Where's that remake? Because again, the remake in Fresh Prince. Where's that remake? That's what I ask you. They're doing like. Did you hear about the planes, trains, and automobiles thing?
No, I don't know, dude. I'm not. Everyone's excited about coming to America, and I'm just like, like when
I mean,
has
after the SNL bit, aren't you excited about
when
that?
when has a decades later comedy sequel ever been good ever?
Fair,
Dragon.
but we haven't gotten any with Eddie Murphy though.
All right. Anyways,
And,
idea: Harold gets bloodbended. Oh my God, he would just lose his shit.
We would, yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so we're walking through the park amidst Harold's terror. And of course, Sid, he's having a field day with this.
Ooh, Harold, it's me, the Headless Cabbie.
Stop it, or I'll pound you.
By the way, Monkey pointed out earlier when he was watching the episode that reminds him of how Ezra was treating me on Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy.
What are you really scared of? He was messing with you from Ghost Galaxy. Really?
Ooh, Tiki, I'm Mr. One Way.
Well, now the shoe's on the other foot.
Right. All right. So then, Stinky hears something. Do you hear barking? And yes, you're right, Dragon. It does inexplicably look like Jock from Lady and the Tramp.
It's just like him. I think he's even more like the same little Scottish pattern too.
It must be an homage.
Gotta be. All right, so of course, cute little.
So
Scotty
never has someone been so terrified of a cute little Scotty dog, Dragon.
Yep.
Harold is just like, no, it's the demon Scotty dog.
Now Sid is actually voicing like, well, it's kind of a weird coincidence that we're talking about a story with this little Scotty dog. It's barking in the park, and now showing up here again. He's got like they're pointing out, like, yeah, it's all a little convenient, don't you think? So Stinky says, shoot, I'm going to take him with us. All right, so let's see. So we see the leaves are blowing in the full moon, because again, with the bloodbending little nod there in the comments, full moon, aesthetic, you need it. Okay, so Cobblestone's making a sound, and we're thinking, oh God, it's the horse. Oh boy, it's the cabbie. When in reality, very Scooby-Doo style, we have like a group kind of saying like, Eugene. It's like Nosferatu, like one of those gigs, you know. Just
I just love Eugene's clogging outfit, Dragon.
I love just Gerald playing. So clogging middle of the night in the evening. Sorry, clogging in the evening. Now I've seen everything. One who he's taking a clogging class and he's clogging on the cobblestone the way I don't get it, but that's the point. It's Eugene.
I don't know. I just love this episode is full of amusing conveniences, and I feel like Eugene just happening to be clogging in the park is one of them.
Oh yeah. All right, so Harold's fed up at this point. Harold's like, okay, that's it. First the little demon Scotty dog, and then Eugene. This sleepover is scaring me to death. I just want ice cream.
I love how Eugene is the escalation of the demon Scotty dog.
Yep. How's it get worse than the demon Scotty dog? Eugene, the jinx. Oh. Harold, he demands ice cream for recompense here. I just want my ice cream. Then, of course, Arnold's reassuring, hey, look, Harold, buddy, we're almost there. We're almost there.
We just got to get through the tunnel.
Yep. Oh, jeez. I don't want to.
Dragon, I will say, I do find walking through tunnels in public parks at night, very unnerving. Like,
I'll admit, at night, sure. I mean, yeah.
Oh, incredibly unnerving for me.
Unless you're going through that Back to the Future 2 tunnel, I ain't going through a tunnel at night.
Right,
unless it's like that Back to the Future tunnel is like all lit up on the inside. It's like cool looking. Unless it's like
Robin
that.
Williams tunnel in San Francisco is like that too. I don't think you can walk through that one though. But anyways, I digress.
Anyway, so hoverboards aside. All right. So, okay, so they're walking through the tunnel despite like, I don't want to. So Eugene's asking. He wants to be called because again, Eugene wasn't there at the sleepover for obvious reasons. So, so Eugene, he's asking. He wants, hey, what's the story of the Headless Cabbie? And of course, Arnold's getting ready to tee it up, and like Harold's back, don't tell him, Arnold.
Don't tell it, Arnold, please. I don't want to hear it.
So Harold. So Harold knows, like, he's basically kind of, look, I know at the end of this tunnel, there's going to be a guy with a golden hook.
Oh, God.
Of course, they go to the end, and what's at the end? What's at the end?
It's the guy with the golden hook for an arm.
Now here's the cheat. I love this as a cheat. You could always write it off as like it's like a fear POV sort of thing. They use the exact shot from earlier, so it is the same guy.
Right.
Until we then, after they leave, we kind of reveal coming out of the shadows. Again, a little fear-based, little fight or flight POV sort of thing. They got fear on the brain. It's going to present itself. With the money line, Tiki, I just wanted to sell him a quality watch.
Oh, God. Oh, God, there's so much about that scenario that's just so silly, Dragon.
Some people would say
that this watch salesman is just like out in the middle of the park at night, the fact that he's targeting children, the fact that he's obviously the aesthetic of having like the dozens of watches around his arm. Yeah, the fact that he kind of looks like an old sailor type. I don't know. There's just so many different silly things about this one very brief, momentary character.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things. I mean, one, he's just, it's probably kind of a stock use on that design, because they design characters a lot like that guy. He's kind of...
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
I love that, he's the old archetype of like, hey, kid, you want to buy a watch? He's like that sort of guy, which again, look, I know these days, a little passe, but how can you beat it, man? It's a lot of fun. It's the guy selling a watch. It's out in the open. I gotta tell you, those did seem like quality watches. So they give credit.
They did. I like that he takes pride in his work, Dragon.
Yeah.
That's the thing I find the most amusing.
I gotta tell you, that pocket watch looked kind of nice.
All right.
Anyway, so I just want to sell them a quality watch, and they're all just so now they're going down the exact same trail. I believe they swerve off and they run probably the same way. So now Arnold's trying to keep the group calm. He's trying to write all off, kind of Jamie Kennedy style. He's trying to say, guys, wait. So he's explaining that, look, we just got carried away. It's all coincidence. And, of course, what's behind Arnold? What do they find floating in the breeze?
The red scarf.
Yes, red scarf. So it's okay. So look, your guys are being crazy. There's nothing weird going on here. And Eugene, because they hear the clogging. Eugene, can you please stop that clogging? And then we enter the whole, the whole kind of Sleepy Hollow of it all here, folks.
I'm not doing anything, Arnold.
Yeah, but then the dog is run. Now the dog springs out of Stinky's. This is the creepy part for me. The dog springs out of Stinky's arms and begins running. Where are you going, little fella? And of course, the dog running, because if the dog's there, well, That's not the story. The dog
And then,
has to be.
as Monkey points out, we never see where the dog went at the
I
end, so
know,
that's
which
also
again,
another ambiguous detail.
yeah, you're never supposed to see the dog, man. You're never supposed to see that. It's like you can never catch the dog. The dog's always going to be going because the legend keeps going on. It's like an odd infinitum ghost sort of thing. So, dog runs away, and then the cabbie arrives with a passenger.
Oh dear. All right, this whole thing is just it's so good. It's so good, right? Oh man.
So we have this just giant smile within like this dark cloak and the green cloak here, just beginning to ha ha ha. They all run. They begin to run till a familiar voice calls out to them.
Wait, guys, it's Ernie. Where are you going?
Ernie? Yeah, I'm driving. I'm driving a buggy at night to earn some extra cash. Anything wrong with that? This is no. Who's the passenger? Who's the creepy lady laughing? It's me.
I am
It's
no
Mr.
lady. I have a very creepy laugh.
Very creepy laugh.
I just love how gleeful Mr. Wynn is over his creepy laugh, Dragon.
Yeah.
All right.
So he offers. So that's just priceless. Mr. Wynn can do such a creepy laugh, and of course, it's the ultimate payoff to the very creepy thing we always set up with this guy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So Ernie offers him a ride, which is really responsible and nice of him, by the way. He offers him a ride, and it's getting late. And also, not only that, they don't just cut their trip short. He takes them to get ice cream. How nice is that?
Oh, that is nice. That is
Ernie
nice.
Potts, man. I got a lot of love for Ernie Potts. All right, so he offers him a ride, and then what does Mr. Wynn offer the kids when they're all in the buggy?
Would you like to hear my creepy laugh?
And then of course we have Harold. No, please, mommy. Just like, all right. So then they return to the boarding house with ice cream. They're all saying, "Oh boy, what a night!" So they're all heading back in. They're all going back in. We have, of course, Sid continues to mock Harold. This time, Harold's like,
"Where's my head, Harold? Ooh, I'm the laughing lady."
"Stop it, Sid! I'll never blind you again. Stop it, please." So then we have our unsettling ending, Tiki. What is our unsettling ending?
All right, so Ernie drives off, and by the way, I love it. Did you notice the design of the horse where it doesn't have eyes?
Well, no, they have like the little black thing on the eyes, don't they?
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, like the eyes are kind of like on the side of horses, so like it just kind of looks like these unsettling black dots, Dragon. It's
right.
These unsettling black voids on the horses. I think maybe it's just creepy now since it's like the image of the horse going through the city street, which is a bit abnormal. All right, so anyways, a woman approaches the cabbie. Cabbie, I'd like a ride around the park, please.
Yes, ma'am. So he's thinking, oh my good God, oh good God, gorgeous lady, I'm going to pick her up and give her a little cabbie ride. All right.
So the woman starts to explain, I lost my little Scotty dog a few weeks ago, and I still hope to find him. It's so cold out. Won't you take this scarf?
And of course, I love this. I love how we hear Ernie just saying, gee, thanks, lady. It is pretty cold out tonight. And then they enter the park. And now here's the thing. The only gripe I have with this is fine. It's just compared to the other endings that we've gotten with Hey Arnold, the creepy endings. And I guess you could say the same thing about Ghost Bride. Honestly, it's kind of, out of all the similarities in the endings, I think these two are probably, Ghost Bride and Headless Cabbie, the closest, because again, it's like a familiar character probably going to get killed, in which they don't, because they show up later. Right. Unless, well, now we know it to be true because now we have the Jungle movie. But if you want to be really dark and dour, if you want to take it as well, Ghost Bride's case, that's technically, I think chronologically, it's the last of the spooky episodes, and we might not see Curly again until Jungle movie. So Curly,
oh dear, oh god,
until Jungle movie, Curly, because sometimes they are out of sequence. Curly, for all intents and purposes, could have been killed off. But again, this being season 4, the point being, it's like, yeah, well, we know Ernie's going to be fine. So that's kind of, but again, it's the atmosphere of the ending in itself. It's still pretty cool. The point is going to get the Dickens scared out of him. I'd like, you know what my headcanon is? I like to think happens.
What?
If he goes through the whole Headless Cabbie experience, because he's shorter, he's gonna be fine.
Totally.
It's my little headcanon, like how Ernie survives in like the sequel we're never gonna see. It's like, he'll be fine. It'll slide off. He barely has a neck as is. It'll slide off.
Right. Oh god. Oh man, I love that. That. My headcanon, Dragon, is just that it's the woman looking for her dog, the same dog that we see in the park, and it's just a freaky coincidence.
That's probably better. I think yours is probably the smarter way to go, but okay.
But I like yours, though. Yours is funnier, though.
Okay.
But the thing I do like about the ending, though, compared to something like Four-Eyed Jack or Haunted Train, where it pretty much just shows outright, like, you're going to visually see the ghost.
Yeah.
Like, this, it's still ambiguous, you know what I mean? It's creepy, but like I said, my reading of it always was that it was just kind of this weird coincidence. We do set up the fact that there is a lost art dog in the park earlier on in the episode, so it's not unfounded that a woman will be looking for the dog. So I like that it ties everything together in terms of just like, you know, like kind of like letting your imagination run wild. And I guess that's going to be my final thoughts on it.
Final thoughts for me. Again, I still feel way better than Ghost Bride. It's very watchable. It's very simple. I mean, Harold's he's hysterical in it. Again, very scary urban legend. Very creepy. Better being the better phrasing of that. It's yeah. Again, it's definitely a go-to when you in your head when you listen off kind of the iconic spooky Harold episodes. I mean, you're probably going to get outside of not again. Arnold's Halloween being just the Halloween episode, going to the creepy ones against Four-Eyed Jack and Haunted Train. But then right after that, Headless Cabbie. Good one.
All right. So I think that's it, right, Dragon?
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, our spirits grow restless this evening. I'm sorry. I thought I could do that without looking it up, but I couldn't.
This is why we have scripts.
All right, folks. That's the end of tonight's spooky selection, and our spirits grow weary. But they'll be stronger than ever next time as we engage in even more haunted holiday hijinks. I just want to sell him a quality watch.
Monkey cat.
My life is very creepy.
Very creepy.